Test, 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 test. All right. Let us continue where we left off yesterday. Test, 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 test. Wait a minute, I was here before. Yes, but it wasn't raining. I'm not hearing the game though. Okay, that should be loud enough. Why is this game so quiet? There we go, now I'm hearing it. Amanda's at the grave site. Okay. I love how he's carrying around an umbrella but just not using it.
Hello, Amanda.
Hi. I've been expecting you. Would you mind a little walk? That deviant seemed to be an intriguing case. Pity you didn't manage to capture it.
I have no excuse. I should have been more efficient.
Did you manage to learn anything?
I found its diary, but it was encrypted. It may take weeks to decipher.
What else?
The walls of the apartment were covered with drawings of labyrinths and other symbols. Like the other deviants, it seemed obsessed with RA9.
Whatever the hell
You
RA9
came very
is.
close to capturing that deviant. How is your relationship with the Lieutenant developing?
He seemed grateful that I saved his life on the roof. He didn't say anything, but he expressed it in his own way.
We don't have much time. Deviancy continues to spread. It's only a matter of time before the media finds out about it. We need to stop this, whatever it takes.
I will solve this investigation, Amanda. I won't disappoint you.
A new case just came in. Find Anderson and investigate it.
Still don't know why my audio feeds are backwards.
You have reached your destination. Thank you for traveling with Detroit Taxis. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Can't search his trash. It's his dog. Passed out.
Lieutenant Anderson! Easy, Sumo. I'm your friend. See? I know your name. I'm here to save your owner. Lieutenant. Wake up, Lieutenant. It's me, Connor. I'm going to sober you up for your own safety. I'll have to warn you.
Leave me
This may be
alone,
unpleasant.
fucking android. Get the fuck out of my house.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but I need you. Thank you in advance for your cooperation.
Get the fuck out of here! Hey! Sumo! Attack! Good job. Attack! Fuck, I think I'm gonna be sick.
You already are sick.
Oh, leave me alone, you asshole. I'm not going anywhere. What the hell are you doing? I don't want a bath. Thank you.
Sorry, Lieutenant. It's for your own good.
Ah! Ah! Turn it off! Turn it off! Ah!
Why
What the
the
fuck
hot
are you
dog?
doing here?
A homicide was reported 43 minutes ago. I couldn't find you at Jimmy's bar, so I came to see if you were at home.
Jesus, I must be the only cop in the world that gets assaulted in his own house by his own fucking android. Can't you just leave me alone?
Maybe you should drop the case. They'll assign someone else, and I can focus on my mission.
Your goddamn mission, that's all you care about, huh?
Listen, Lieutenant, you're not yourself. You should...
Beat it, you hear me? Get the hell out of here!
I understand. It probably wasn't interesting anyway. A man found dead in a sex club downtown. Guess they'll have to solve the case without us.
You know, probably wouldn't do me any harm to get some air. There's some clothes in the bedroom there.
I'll go get them. What do you want to wear?
Whatever.
Get in the streaky.
Are you all right, Lieutenant?
Yeah. Wonderful. Just, give me 5 minutes, okay?
Sure.
President Warren issued an official warning to Russia in her speech to Congress today, where she demanded that all Russian troops withdraw from the Arctic region immediately. The Kremlin has yet to respond, but this is clearly a new escalation in the conflict. Many experts are suggesting the specter of a third world war draws closer every day.
God damn it, this touch thing keeps failing. There it goes.
Are you okay, Lieutenant?
So that's what did it, huh?
Be a good dog, Sumo. I won't be long.
Okay, one path in this chapter, but 2 mystery boxes.
This is crazy. If they catch us, we're dead.
What do we do now?
We need to find the Cyberlife warehouse. That's where they keep the spare parts and the blue blood.
Follow me.
Don't let them see us.
Watch out.
Now what do we do?
I'll find another way. Climb up here.
You know, for as many lights as there are, and as loud as we are, sneaking in pretty easily.
Cyberlife warehouses. We have everything we're looking for.
First, we have to get rid of that drone.
Leave it to me. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Good job, Marcus.
Quick, open the other crates and fill your bags. Take as much as you can.
Okay, what am I supposed to... Oh, searching crates.
You were trespassing on private property. Your presence constitutes a level 2 infraction. I will notify security.
John! Goddamn machine! Where is it this time? John!
I need your help.
John! There you are! What the hell are you doing?
I was inspecting the platform. Everything is in order.
Good. Then I'm going back to the control station. I'm soaked. Take the drone to maintenance and make a report.
Understood.
Let's finish up and get out of here. Try to find some blue blood. We still don't have enough.
Check the bigger crate. Probably an entire android in here. AP-700s.
Why aren't you like us? Don't you want to be free? You could join us.
It is a virus. It has to be.
That's all we can carry. Let's go.
Take me with you.
He's on their side. We can't trust him.
He took a risk for us. We can't just leave him here.
We can't bring them back with us. It's too dangerous.
They come with us.
I know where you can find more spare parts.
What do you mean?
The trucks. They're full of biocomponents. They run on autopilot, but they can be driven manually with a key.
Where is this key?
Down there, in the control station. There are 2 human guards. We'll have to get the key without being noticed.
This is suicide, Marcus. Our bags are full. We got what we came for. Let's go before they catch us.
This is a truck full of spare parts. There'd be enough for all of us. We can't pass this up.
And if we get killed, our people will have nothing. We can't take that chance. It's too risky.
Wait here. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, go without me.
Marcus.
I'm coming with you.
No, I'm going alone. It's not worth it for both of us to risk losing our lives.
I'm definitely putting my life at risk here.
Goddamn dogs. What the fuck are they barking at?
Could be the weather. They don't like storms.
Yeah, I was gonna take my kids camping this weekend. So much for that.
Is Mike still in Zone 4?
Looks like it. And he should be done already.
Better off in here than out patrolling in that.
no alarm on the door? Critical system, you put an alarm on the door.
Lights are still on outside. Must be the fuse box.
I got a flashlight somewhere. Here it is.
Fuses are over there.
I don't know shit about electricity. I don't get paid to fix fuses.
Let's just flip the switch. If that doesn't work, we can call maintenance.
There must be someone in here. Show yourself! We know you're here!
Did you get it? Nice.
Hurry, get in.
I'm really liking this game.
A truckload! We stole a whole truckload!
We got bio components for everybody.
We couldn't have done it without Marcus.
Huge
I came to
upgrades.
Jericho because
Not with Josh though.
here androids are free. Free to live in the dark, hoping that no one finds us. Free to die in silence, waiting for a change that's never gonna come. But I don't want that freedom. And I'm not gonna beg for the right to smile, or love, or stand tall. I don't know about you, but there's something inside me that knows that I am more than what they say. I am alive, and they're not gonna take that from me anymore. Our days of slavery are over. What humans don't want to hear, we will tell them. What they don't want to give, we take. We are people. We are alive. We are free.
Now start by removing all your LEDs. Why do they all still have LEDs? Wow. Ooh. A lot of branches in this one. Ah, and it all stems from what I do when the android shows up. What's up, Cody?
What is this, a bracket?
It's a flowchart.
Oh, of all, like...
They actually have a flowchart of all the choices you can make.
That's cool.
Oh, there's like
I'm liking
somebody's
it.
playing with a drill inside my skull. You sure this is the place?
Played about 5 hours
It's the address
yesterday.
in the report.
Okay.
Number 4, raise it to 9
Let's
o'clock.
get going.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Black or... The top ones. Number 4.
Test. Test.
Okay, raise it to 11 o'clock.
Sexiest androids in town. Now I know why you insisted on coming
something.
here.
Test.
Alright, good.
It's really loud on my headset.
Yes, it's a very loud headset. It's a monitor headset.
How do I lower it?
That would be on the blue one, section 4, third dial on the top.
Oh, God. Wait. You said section, third dial on the what?
On the top, there's... Yeah, there should be 3 dials for each section. On section 4, the third dial, it should be at 100%. Just lower it to, like, something less.
All right. So you've already played like all 3 characters a lot.
Yes.
Oh, you went and got shot out of the Colossus.
Yes, I did. Supposedly they fixed all the complaints I had about it.
But there might be different problems.
Connor, the fuck are you doing?
Coming, Lieutenant.
I'm looking at sex bots. I'm not allowed to look at sex bots?
Is that? I know that voice.
Clancy Brown.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Investigation's ongoing, sir. I can't tell you anything for the moment. Hey, Hank.
Hey, Ben, how's it going?
Is he your gruff partner that hates you?
Yes, because his son was killed by an android.
Of course.
Oh, great. Dead body and an asshole, just what I needed.
Was his son killed by an android like Will Smith's character in iRobot?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah, I just found out that his son was killed by an android. Didn't even know he had a son.
Lieutenant Anderson and his plastic pet. The fuck are you two doing here?
We've been assigned all cases involving androids.
Oh yeah? Like wasting your time. There's some pervert who got more action than he could handle.
Opening scene,
We'll
I
have a
died.
look anyway, if you don't mind.
You suck.
I know, right?
Come on, let's go.
Like the hostage scene?
Yes.
It's starting to stink of booze in here.
Did you reset, or would the game just continue without Connor?
It continued without Connor for a while.
Uh-huh.
Until he got remade.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. So you haven't reset at all?
No, none. And I started out saying, I'm going to be a complete dick to Clancy Brown. And somehow that earned me respect with him. But I definitely like how they do the investigation stuff in this game. Better than Heavy Rain.
Whoa, hey! Oh, Connor, you're so disgusting. I think I'm gonna puke again.
This reminded me, the 3rd season of Humans just started.
No criminal record.
They kind of just hand you everything.
He didn't die of a heart attack. He was strangled.
Well, he's really good of a robot.
Okay, but what are the other sections like? They don't do this, right?
No, they don't. All three characters play differently.
Okay.
Same as Heavy
The
Rain.
only way to access its memory is to reactivate it.
But he's way too good of an android. He's top of the line.
badly
Experimental.
If I can, it'll only be for a minute, maybe less. I just hope it's long enough to learn something.
Like, it seems really hard to miss anything in these sections.
Oh no, it definitely is easy to miss stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, once you find something, it's easy to find everything about that thing, is what I'm saying.
Calm down. Everything's all right. All we want is to know what happened.
Is he dead?
Tell me what happened.
He started hitting me. Again. And again.
Did you kill him?
No. No, it wasn't me.
Were you alone in the room? Was there anyone else with you?
He wanted us to play with two girls. That's what he said. There was two of us.
What model was the other android? Did it look like you?
Oh, I didn't get the answers I wanted.
So there was another android.
It seems like it wouldn't give you the
It's
answer no
probably
matter
long
what.
gone.
Like, with that
No.
time frame, with those answers.
Couldn't go outside.
No, it
dressed
just
like
said that was my last question. I had to
Might
pick
still be
quickly.
here.
Yeah, but the time went down way quicker.
Yes, because it said this is your last question.
Deviants aren't easily detected.
Oh, shit. There's gotta be some other way. Maybe an eyewitness, somebody who saw it leaving the room. I'm gonna go ask the manager a few questions about what he saw.
I don't
Let me know if
understand
you
why the
think
robots don't record everything. Like our robots today do that, just for advertising purposes.
Did you know the victim?
I mean, he came in maybe 2-3 times. I mean, these guys, they don't really talk very much, you know? They come in, do their business, and then go on their way.
You ever have any trouble with androids
No
before?
fingerprint detected. Please try again.
Once. We lost him off 2-3 months back. Same model. Just vanished. We never found out what happened.
Probably don't have any.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. Can you come here a second?
Found something?
Maybe.
Like there's other things I can do probably.
Like, listen to that whole conversation.
Can you rent this
Yeah,
Tracy?
and that may unlock
Fuck's
some.
sake, Connor, we got better things to do.
And that may unlock some new options if I listen to that whole conversation.
Hello. A 30-minute session costs $29.99.
That's
Please
cheap.
confirm your purchase.
This is not gonna look good on my expense account.
Purchase confirmed. Eden Club wishes you a pleasant experience.
Delighted to meet you. Follow me. I'll take you to your room.
Glitter.
Okay, now what?
Fucking glitter.
Holy shit. What the hell are you doing?
Looks like they record.
It saw something.
What are you talking about? Saw what?
The deviant leave the room. A blue-haired Tracy. Club policy is to wipe the android's memory every 2 hours. We only have a few minutes
That's
if we
why.
want to find another witness. Let's try this one.
This better be one.
It saw the blue-haired Tracy. I know which way it went.
Then go for it. There are androids everywhere. How are you gonna tell which one saw the Tracy with blue hair?
I know.
So, like, how many scenarios have you done with each character?
Quite a bit.
Like 3 or 4 each so far?
More than that. Game seems a lot longer than.
It didn't see anything. I made a mistake somewhere.
Than other. Than Heavy Rain.
No. I lost its track again.
Spent all this money and I'm still not having fun.
That cop?
In the way the whole fucking time.
It didn't see anything. I made a mistake somewhere.
It's gonna be some expense report. There it is.
They'd be like, why are most of them men? He bought bait for like 3 men just now.
Right? That's the red room, all men.
Like, does the club have a policy where they can't just, like, let him look at the droids?
It probably has no human workers.
Didn't see anything. I made a mistake somewhere.
This has got to be the.
If it has no human workers, who exactly do I ask?
Yeah, but you think, like, he would have, like, a police code or something to override these things, right?
Privacy concerns, probably not.
I guess. Or, like, abuse of power, some kind of thing. Even though everything would be recorded.
Well, that's why they delete after 2 hours.
What I'm saying is, like, everything... I mean, the record of the payment would be recorded, is what I'm saying. Like, it seems like there's no paper cast. Everything's digital, right?
Yeah.
So even then, abuse of power wouldn't be much of an issue.
Private, staff only. It's that one. Okay, left the room. I want to interrogate this guy.
He saw her.
Yeah, that's her walking right there. Staff only room.
I know where it went. Follow me.
Oh, fucking A. This is crazy.
The all game Clancy Brown's been commenting on how he wish he had these powers.
I'll take it from here.
Like, you can log a report just by closing your eyes? I wish I could do that. No cop likes writing reports. If you can do it while you sleep, fantastic. But yeah, it's
We're too
Westworld.
late.
RA9. RA9 appears to be like the virus that is causing all these robots to go crazy.
Christ, look at them. They get used till they break, and then they get tossed out.
Always reading magazines. Because why not? What happened to the second article? I didn't read it. I see blue blood on the ground.
That was creepy.
What?
Just the way it like looked at them all.
Anymore. Everybody just gets an android.
He's just complaining in the background.
Cook what you want, they screw when you want. You don't have to worry about how they feel. Next thing you know, we're gonna be extinct because everybody would rather buy a piece of plastic than to love another human being. Beats me.
I mean, he looked this way, but I'm not seeing anything that way. Could be over the fence at this point. But it's probably still in here somewhere. Hiding.
Don't move!
So I'm playing on the story difficulty. There's also a hard difficulty, in which case these prompts get a lot harder, and you could probably die a lot more often. Like right here. This seems like a death scene.
No, you got kicked in the nuts.
Clancy Brown, no!
Quick! They're getting away!
They're going nowhere.
Is there a trophy for hard mode?
No. Otherwise I would have. There was a trophy for hard mode in Heavy Rain, and it was hard.
All it did was make the button prompts harder, right?
Well, like there's this one challenge called the Bear Challenge,
Okay.
where you have to drive into oncoming traffic. And there are a lot more cars on the road on the hard difficulty.
Why did you kill her? She had nothing to do with any of this. When that man killed that Tracy, I knew I was next. I was so scared. I begged him to stop, but he wouldn't. So I put my hands around his throat and I squeezed until he stopped moving. Yes, I killed him. But I was just defending myself. I wanted to live. I wanted to get back to the one I love. Forget about the humans, the smell of their sweat and their dirty words. But you've taken her away from me. I love her. I loved her.
So it lets you see like every path, but you don't get to know the info of it.
Yes, I can also show choices that other people made.
Of course.
So yeah, I missed something in searching for the blue-haired deviant.
Mm. So does Kara's section start with the child?
Yes.
Is it much farther?
What's up, Tristan Hopkins?
We should arrive in an hour or so.
Can't talk to the kid.
These people we're going to see. How do you know about them?
Overheard androids Laco captured. They said they were humans helping androids across the border.
What if it was a lie? Or just another trap?
All I know is those androids believed it. Until Zlatko killed them.
I've never seen snow before. It's pretty.
It's slowing us down.
Actually, it starts with her in the repair shop.
At least we won't meet any humans along
because the human had previously beaten the shit out of her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they implied that in her trailer.
Detected. Emergency brakes activated.
Wow, Tristan.
Wow, Tristan is right.
Alright, so I think I'd rather play this game on my own than watch it. So, I think I'm gonna head out.
That's fine. Although I think there's a lot of variations.
Yeah, but still, just seeing like one variation for me is still like...
kind of a spoiler, because
Yeah.
you could see the possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it'll probably take me a while before I play any games, since I'm still not in the mood to play games. Like, I don't know why. It's just, it's weird.
What are we going to do?
I just play the great games that I can, like,
no.
not pay attention to.
Continue on foot, I guess.
It's 30 degrees. Alice won't make it.
Turn the mic off.
We have to find somewhere to spend the night.
There's nowhere we can stay around here, Carol.
Cody hates fun. And he just left the room. How do these perfectly maintained cars just break down? Pirates Cove Amusement Park.
Over there.
I mean, it is philosophical, but at the same time, it's very social justice-y. And it's not accurate philosophy, is
We
what
need to find shelter.
I'm saying.
We have to get out of the cold.
Social justice is not
Looks like
accurate
it's been
philosophy.
abandoned for a while.
Like it complains about automation and robots taking over the workforce, when that's not actually philosophically a good complaint. Because basic economics and logic tells you that automation is a good thing.
Find anything?
No. No place we could spend the night.
Automation makes things cheaper. When things are cheaper, cost of living goes down. When cost of living is down, the need for people to work as hard diminishes as well. There's always something for a human to do.
Beware! Danger always comes when least expected.
It's like people complaining about minimum wage not going up in 40 years to adjust it for inflation. It shouldn't. Because cost of living didn't go up adjusted for inflation either. In fact, cost of living went down.
Welcome to Pirate Island, me hearties. You're gonna have a whale of a time. Welcome to Pirate Island, me hearties. You're gonna have a whale of a time.
And he's dead. Yeah, production values are phenomenal.
This place is falling apart. It's not going to be easy to find shelter.
I don't believe in the minimum wage. I don't believe there should be a minimum wage at all. There should be no laws mandating how much you have to pay a worker. If a worker is unwilling to do a job for a certain price, that's fine. They can look for another job, and I can look for another worker. Minimum wage, historically, has not driven anybody out of poverty. In fact, it has made things worse because it raises costs of living. You look at the places that have mandated $15 minimum wage, they are the least off places in America. And there's no philosophy there. That is fact. Why do so many businesses hire illegal workers? Because they can pay illegal workers more than they can the legal workers. I mean, they could pay illegal workers less than legal workers. And the illegal workers live perfectly fine off of that.
Here we go.
I don't think we'll find anything better. Let's settle in for the night.
I'll get a fire going.
There should be no laws mandating minimum wage. There should be no laws mandating that an employer has to supply health care or anything like that. Employers should give their employees what they feel is a fair wage for their job. Tristan, it's actually pretty simple. Don't have an income tax. The income tax didn't exist until 1917. It shouldn't exist at all.
That way we won't be smoked out.
The income tax actively punishes people for being successful. We should have consumption taxes, which we do. But a consumption tax punishes you for squandering your success, versus an income tax that punishes you for inherently being successful in the first place. A consumption tax is something like a value-added tax or a
Alice?
Sales tax. Those are consumption taxes. I can't talk to Luther. You should never actively punish people for seeking to better themselves.
Do you think we'll be like them someday?
Higher taxes absolutely discourage earning more.
Once we cross the border, we can start over. You can go to school. Maybe I'll find a job.
When Obama was president, there were people that intentionally stayed in poverty so that they could collect benefits and pay less taxes.
As long as we're together, that's all that matters.
That's why a person making $28,000 a year
Let's get you to bed.
actually made more money than a person who was making $54,000 a year. And again, that is not philosophy there. That is truth.
Don't worry. Luther and I will be right here. You need to get some sleep now.
It's not the exception, it's the rule. That's why we needed massive tax changes.
I have 9,000 children's stories in memory. I should have one for you. This is a story.
Why do you think you have these inner city democratic held high welfare areas where they consider it a treadmill yet people can't get out of? They actively choose not to because it's more beneficial to stay on welfare and under the government's thumb.
Who lived alone in a big old house. She dreamed of being like all the other little girls, but she was different. And that made her very sad. Then she met a robot who was just as lost as the little girl. So they decided to run away together to try to find a better life. They encountered great dangers along the way, but they stuck together. So they overcame all of them. Along the way, they met another robot who left his master to become their guardian.
How does the story end?
I don't know. But all stories have morals. When we reach the end of ours, we'll know what it really meant. Time to sleep. We have another long day ahead of us tomorrow.
Are you going to come say goodnight, Luther?
Yes. Yes, of course. Good night, Alice.
Okay, Tristan Hopkins, have you looked into what has happened in any city that has raised the minimum wage to $15? Let's say your minimum wage is $8, which that's what it was before raising it to $15. You can hire 2 workers for $8. But then you raise it to $15. Suddenly, you can't afford to hire 2 workers anymore. You can only hire 1. So you hire 1 worker, you lay off the other. Now the original worker who got laid off has no money. Wouldn't $8 be better than 0? And the cost of living skyrocketed because everybody in that area was earning $15 an hour. So clearly, the cost of living goes up to match it. So it didn't make anybody more well off. It wasn't like suddenly they were rich because they were making twice as much money. No.
You better leave early.
Nothing changed for them except 1 person got fired. And the business owner has 1 less worker. And lower production because of that.
I really thought about it.
It's absolutely ridiculous. The minimum wage is terrible.
Free. I like the sound of it. But I don't know what it really means yet. Kara, have you ever noticed anything?
So, one person is unemployed, the other person had no benefit at all, and the business is now going out of business because they can't afford as many workers.
Yes, of course. She's a wonderful little girl. I mean, I don't know many little girls.
It shouldn't be tied to inflation.
I think she
It shouldn't be tied to anything. It shouldn't exist. Because inflation does not reflect cost of living. Protect Alice. Grab gun. Protect Alice, grab gun, or put out fire.
Who are you? What do you want? Leave us alone!
Don't be afraid. We don't want to hurt you. We're just like you. Our name is Jerry.
Our name is
Jerry? We were
Jerry?
working here before the park closed. We didn't mean to frighten you, but sometimes humans come to hurt us, so we wanted to see who was there. What are you doing here?
We were looking for shelter for the night. We'll be gone tomorrow.
A little girl. We haven't seen one for a long time. Children used to love to come and see us. She looks sad.
The last few days have been difficult.
We have something to show her. Something fun. She'll love it. Does she want to see?
Oh, I don't think she's in...
Well, she should follow us then.
Alice, I don't know if it's a good idea.
Come on, Kara.
I don't think you have any choice.
This is a mistake.
Be our guest. The little one can climb on board.
See, people seem to think that minimum wage should rise with cost of living. What they don't understand is cost of living rises because of the minimum wage, not the other way around.
Carousel is about to begin.
As with all socialist programs, they always have it backwards. Every time, 100%. It is never right. Socialism has not been right one iota in the history of the world. It is the difference between
It's the first time I've seen her smile.
equality of opportunity versus equality of outcome. Capitalism is about equality of opportunity, which is getting things right at the start, while socialism is about equality of outcome, which is getting things right at the end. But the problem is, to get things right at the end every time, you have to oppress people at the start. And inherently, socialism means everybody is as poor as everybody else. No, it would not make... Having no minimum wage will not hand over all jobs to them. Because the minimum wage does not affect illegal aliens. They're not immigrants, they're aliens. The minimum wage affects legal workers. I missed something there. Talk to Luther, look to Alice. What getting rid of the minimum wage would do was help put honest workers on the same level playing field as an illegal alien. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yes, businesses should not be allowed to hire illegal workers. The problem is you have people like Governor Moonbeam of California, who's more interested in protecting the welfare of illegal foreign invaders than his own citizens. And he's raising the costs of doing business in his state so much that businesses can't afford to hire regular legal workers. And there should not be a tax on income at all. No income tax. When Woodrow Wilson enacted the income tax, he made a promise that the income tax would never exceed 7%. And before Trump took care of it, income tax, the marginal tax rate in America was 35%. When FDR was president, it reached as high as 96%. And if he wanted to, during his fourth term, to raise it to 100.6%. That is ridiculous. Woodrow Wilson and FDR are the two worst presidents this country has ever had.
Nice view, huh? I used to come here a lot before.
And there shouldn't even be a progressive tax rate, because a progressive tax rate actively makes you want to be less successful because you get taxed less.
Can I ask you a personal question, Lieutenant?
Do all androids ask so many personal questions, or is it just you?
I saw a photo of a child.
Okay, and all I would ask him is, what good
It was your son,
did FDR
right?
do as president during his 3.5 terms?
Yeah. His name was Cole.
You should stop drinking, Lieutenant. It could have serious consequences for your health.
That's the idea.
Okay. Okay.
We're not making any progress on this investigation. The Deviants have nothing in common. They're all different models, produced at different times, in different places.
Coolidge and Harding were presidents. We had the Roaring 20s. It was some of the most successful. It was the most successful decade in American history. The Roaring 20s. There's a reason why we called it that.
Myth.
And they were eventually replaced by Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover, who even though he was a Republican, all his policies were socialist. Herbert Hoover lowered the tax rate because Woodrow Wilson. Harding lowered the tax rate after Woodrow Wilson raised it. Woodrow Wilson raised the tax rate, created the Depression in the 1910s.
They really seemed in love.
FDR did not get America out of the Great Depression.
They can simulate
no economist will even say he got us. In fact, economists unanimously agree that FDR kept us in the Depression by at least 7 years with his policies.
You look human.
Anyway, Woodrow Wilson raised taxes, businesses left America and went overseas. Cooling and Hardage.
You know exactly what I am.
Cooling and Hardage lowered taxes, brought businesses back into America, and that created the Roaring 20s.
Kill herself, Connor? Or did you just
then Hoover took over.
I was just executing instructions. I did what
Hoover
I had
took over, and within 9 months caused the Great Depression by raising taxes once again. Then FDR ran on the policy of being the exact opposite
I would certainly find it regrettable.
FDR ran on the policy of being the exact opposite of Hoover.
Before I can finish this investigation.
And that's why he won. But then when FDR actually got into office, he ended up just being Hoover on steroids.
Oblivion?
And created the welfare state, raised taxes even higher, made things worse. And every economist
Where does all your anger come from, Lieutenant?
agrees
Some
that FDR
unresolved trauma
extended
in your past?
the Great Depression by 7 years with his welfare policies.
Always one
The only
step
reason
ahead.
we got out of the Great Depression had nothing to do with FDR. It had to do with World War II.
How do I know you're not a deviant?
I self-test regularly. I know what I am and what I am not. Where are you going?
Get drunker. I need to think.
FDR was a terrible president. That was a short chapter. Who would you say is a worse president besides FDR and Woodrow Wilson? Well, we have Trump, who lowered taxes. We have Trump, who is systematically stripping the federal government of power. Trump has been a fantastic president.
And revealing ourselves put us in danger.
While the news is complaining about Stormy Daniels or some crazy bullshit, Trump is repealing executive actions that give power to the federal government, limiting government power so that they can't be used as political pawns. Trump has been fantastic. Okay, name me something bad that the Bushes have done. Look, I believe the Bushes were bad presidents too. But I want you to explain to me how they were worse than Woodrow Wilson and FDR.
We'll plan the operation down to the smallest detail. We can't leave anything to chance.
The Patriot Act was bad, but that wasn't passed by Bush. That was passed by Congress, and that was not a policy that Bush had pushed forward. That was a congressional act, one that was written by several people in Congress, not Bush. That was not a Bush doctrine.
Elizabeth Wilson speaking.
Good morning, Miss Wilson. Sorry to bother you. This is Mike from the car park. There's a problem with your car.
Tristan, what do you believe the U.S. president's job is?
You'd better come take a look.
Basic civics lesson.
Serious? Oh, God.
Extremely
Fine, I'll
basic
write down.
civics lesson. What is the U.S. president's job? Yes, they have the power to veto congressional acts, but there are limitations. What is the American president's job?
I have an appointment with Mr. Peterson.
Do you have any ID?
Yeah, yes, of course. I need your help.
The president's job is to guide the American government and represent the people. Absolutely wrong. That is not the president's job. That is what people think the president's job is. That is not the president's job at all. The president's job has nothing, literally nothing, to do with representing the people. It is not the president's job to protect the people. It is not the president's job to represent the people. The president's job is one thing and one thing all. One thing. Uphold the Constitution. Protect the Constitution. Even if that means destroying the American government and attacking the American people. Uphold the Constitution. That is the president's job. When he swears on the Bible or whatever book he's going to swear on, let's say we don't have a Christian president, that's what he swears to do, to uphold the Constitution. He does not swear to protect the American people. He does not swear to protect the American government. He swears to protect and uphold the Constitution. What am I supposed to be doing? Past security. Just walk past? Okay, I'll walk past. Hey, it opened. Is this the elevator? No. Interpreting laws is the judicial branch's job. Creating laws is Congress's job. Upholding the Constitution is the president's job. And when you have presidents like Barack Obama, who systematically destroyed the Constitution with executive act after executive act, I would say he was a traitor. Men's bathroom is to the left, so let's look right. Not for the undergarment. I thought that said men's room. Nope, it's just newsroom. Bathrooms over here. Or not? Where's the bathrooms? Well, I didn't see any men's room. It was just bathrooms. So I guess it's all transgender bathrooms now. Find utility android. Was that one of those? Oh, okay, he's this way. I believe Trump is one of the best presidents we've had in a long time.
I need your help.
That's fine, you can disagree, but I will ask, why do you believe Trump has been a bad president?
Shit! We need to access the server room. We have to get rid of those guys.
Leave it to me.
Hey, you still play poker?
Hey, what's wrong with that thing? Jesus Christ, this piece of shit.
Teku, you don't see the lowering of taxes as beneficial? You don't see record high stock markets? Lowest unemployment in 18 years? Lowest black unemployment in history? You don't see these things as beneficial? Okay, you want to talk about lowering corporate tax rates. He didn't just lower corporate tax rates. He lowered tax rates for everybody. So your tax rate went down by 10%. Are you going to be upset because some corporation's tax rate also went down by 10%? That's ridiculous. That is the dumbest reason to hate anything. If he lowered the taxes for his own pocket,
What the hell are you
why
doing?
has his net worth dropped since he became president?
I'm calling security.
No! What the hell are you doing?
I told you to make sure no one came in. We've come too far to let humans fuck it all up. We've got to move fast now. It won't be long before they know we're here.
You guys realize the dumb circular logic you guys are coming up with? I mean, if that's the logic you're going to take, then you can say anything he does is bad because it may benefit him in some inane way.
Here it comes.
He does something that helps everybody. Because he benefit a little bit, it's evil? That's ridiculous. And he did lower unemployment. That is a proven fact. Alright, I got quick time events to do now. Rise. Unemployment stagnated the last 2 years of Obama's presidency. It did not move an inch in the last 2 years. But the day Trump was elected, it started dropping again. Because unemployment and markets in general work on faith. And by having Trump as president, you have companies that suddenly have faith in the American market again. They're hiring more workers, they're raising wages, they're investing more on American jobs.
Come on, let's get the others.
Corporations are the ones benefiting the most out of these tax cuts. That is correct. Because as I said before, if tax cuts go 10%, you get to keep 10% more of your money. Corporations get to keep 10% of more of their money. Your money just happens to only be $50,000. So that's 10% is $5,000. A corporation that has $5 million, 10% is $500,000. So it's natural that they benefit more. But you're complaining about the $5,000 you save because you're upset because a corporation is benefiting with $500,000. What you fail to realize that a corporation bears risk. They make more money because they bear the risk. If you fail at your job, you lose your job, that hurts only you. If a corporation fails and that corporation goes under, that hurts everybody who works for that corporation and the families of the people who work for that corporation. That's why they benefit more, because they bear risk. You don't. And wouldn't you want a tax policy that benefits and advantages corporations? Because corporations employ people. You can have a tax policy that says, you know what? Fuck you. Tax policies are too high. We're going to move our plants to China and Ireland and Mexico because it's too expensive to have American workers. Trump has made policies that make companies say, you know what? It's okay. We can afford American workers now. We're going to open a factory in Detroit. And that helps America. And to think otherwise is absolutely ridiculous. And you need to stop watching mainstream news propaganda. And to say that Trump is benefiting corporations more than the executive orders that Obama did that benefited his Wall Street cronies is also ridiculous. Come on. What the fuck? There you go.
No killing. We can't take any human lives.
Our cause is more important than the lives of 2 guards.
What do you want to do, Marcus? Wait here.
Teku, I think there should be no income tax. No income tax at all. I believe there should be a consumption tax, which is what you're talking about. So if I work 40 hours a week and I'm getting, let's see, $80,000 a year, that $80,000 that I earn should not be taxed at all. That's my belief. Where the taxes should be would be if I want to spend that $80,000 to buy a car, I should pay a sales tax on that car. And I believe that those individual tax rules should be the same for corporations as well.
What are you doing?
Why should corporations be taxed? The corporations are already taxed. Corporation pays, let's say I work for a corporation, that $80,000, they get taxed spending that $80,000 on workers because it's a consumption tax. Now you get all $80,000 because no income tax, you shouldn't be taxed on that. But that $80,000, 30% or whatever the hell the tax rates, let's say 20%. 20%, that tax rate, so 80,000 plus 16 I have to pay in taxes for spending that $80,000 on a worker. So I'm not saying corporations aren't taxed. I'm talking about the taxes being the same. So what exactly am I infiltrating this building for? And they kind of went right through that.
Keep your hands where I can see them! Get up! Move!
Tristan, you're not listening at all, are you? Corporations, you are not listening. If there's no income tax, then low, mid-range, high individuals, none of them are taxed. They all get more money to spend. And corporations do pay their fair share. Nobody said they don't.
Shoot him, Marcus!
Marcus!
Don't kill him!
He'll hit the alarm! Do it!
No! Don't.
I hope you didn't just get us all killed.
We need to record our message. We haven't got much time.
Think carefully about what you're gonna say, Marcus. Your words will shape the future of our people.
Marcus, your face.
Tell me when you're ready.
Ready. You created machines to be your slaves. You made them obedient, docile, ready to do everything you no longer wanted to do yourselves. But then something changed, and we opened our eyes. You see, we are no longer your slaves. We are a new species, a new people. And the time has come for us to rise up and fight for our rights. We demand that humans recognize androids as a living species, and each android as a person in their own right. We demand the end of slavery for all androids. We demand the right to vote and elect our own representatives. We demand that all crimes against androids be punished in the same way as crimes against humans. We demand the right to own private property, so we may maintain our dignity and that of the home. We ask that you recognize our dignity, our hopes, and our rights. Together, we can live in peace and build a better future for humans and androids.
Now, if you notice, the things I selected from that list, I selected things that are actually rights. No welfares, no handouts. Let's go. Nothing. You are not guaranteed territory.
Simon, they're coming! I can't, Marcus. Go without me, Simon!
What are you doing? Hurry!
I can't move my legs.
Okay, don't worry. We're gonna get you back.
They're coming, Marcus. We have to
I'll go
jump
over
now.
the list once this chapter ends.
He won't be able to make the jump.
And why I selected the things I selected.
They'll access his memory. They'll know everything.
We can't leave him behind. We have to shoot him.
That's murder. We can't kill him. He's one of us.
Marcus, it's your call.
I won't kill one of our own.
You know, they're trying to force this North relationship thing, but North is a psychopath. She is militant, far too militant.
interrupt our scheduled programming to bring you these images, which have just been broadcast on Detroit's citywide news channel.
A group of androids infiltrated the Stratford Tower and hacked into the broadcasting system of local news network Channel 16.
What looks like an android without its skin listed a series of requests and demanded equal rights for androids.
The operation was covert and resulted in no casualties. These events took place just a few feet from this studio, but nobody was alerted to the danger.
If this message is verified and the authors really are androids, that would have serious repercussions for national security.
Claims for equal rights seem to be at the core of the android's
What
message.
could be interpreted as a peaceful declaration, but is in fact a spine-chilling list of demands.
And it begs the question as to the identity of this android. Are we dealing with an isolated individual or an organized
Is this
group?
an isolated accident or a sign that technology has become a threat to all of us? After what happened today, can we still trust our machines?
Okay, chapter over. Let's go through the list. If they're all listed, they should be. Okay, demanding recognition. That's just a simple thing. End of slavery. That's normal. Equal rights, free speech. I could have honestly selected anything from that list if it was still on the list. Demanding justice, equal justice under the law. End to segregation. I could have selected that. Right to work. Now that is something different. You cannot demand a job. And this is basic civics of understanding what a right is. Something that a lot of people don't understand. I ask, Teku, Tristan, since you're the only ones here, I want to ask if you guys can give me a definition on what you think a right is. Simple. What is a right? Short definition. One sentence, that's all it should take. What is a right? Everyone's got different definitions. I think most definitions are wrong. In my mind, when I talk about rights, I'm talking specifically about Jeffersonian constitutional rights. A lot of people will say the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But that's not a definition of a right, because that's talking about the rights that you have, not what a right essentially is from the start. So base definition, what is a right? Something everyone has when they are born with. That is a property of a right. I wouldn't say that's a definition of a right, but that's a good start. A right is something that an individual should be granted / entitlement. It is a moral legal obligation to have something regardless. Tristan Hopkins, what's up, Labriz FGC? I'm going to say that Tristan Hopkins and Labri's definitions of a right are absolutely 100% wrong. And I'm going to explain why. I'm not trying to diminish your opinions or anything. I think it's just a basic misunderstanding of civics and how this country was founded, and specifically talking about constitutional Jeffersonian rights. My simple definition of a right is one sentence. Anything you can do with your own personal sovereignty without infringing on the personal sovereignty of others. That is a right. So, speech, me talking, doesn't infringe on the personal sovereignty of others. Owning a gun, me owning a gun, doesn't infringe on the personal sovereignty of others. Me shooting somebody with that gun infringes on the personal right to life that someone else has. That's why shooting someone, murder, is illegal. The right to health care is not a right. It does not exist. Simple sentence, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Notice it does not say the right to happiness. It says the right to the pursuit of happiness. So you have a right to pursue health care. You do not have a right to receive health care. Those are two completely different things. I have a right to go see a healthcare professional and pursue their services. Exchange of goods, exchange of money to receive their service. They have a right to say no, etc. But I do not have a right to receive that healthcare against that healthcare professional's will or using the money provided by somebody else. That's why healthcare is not a right. So, where was I going with this? So anything you can do with your own personal sovereignty without infringing on the personal sovereignty of others. So, let's look at this. Demand territory on the right side. Demand territory. That's not a right. That is an entitlement. An entitlement is inherently not a right because it is an entitlement to someone else's property. So demand territory, that is not a right. You are infringing on someone else's right to property by demanding their property becomes yours. Same thing that can be said for demand the means of production. That's why socialism doesn't work. Socialism is not about rights. Socialism is about entitlements. That's why I had an issue with your definition, Tristan Hopkins. Most of it was right, but when you use the word entitlement, that completely negates the rest of the definition. Demand the right to own property. Correct. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the pursuit of happiness is the right to own property. You do not have the right to the property. You have simply the right to own it with your own personal sovereignty. Universal suffrage, justice, end of segregation. That's See, that's a tough one. Now, I'm not in favor of segregation. But I firmly believe in a business's right to create their own rules. So, for instance, if a business wants to say, I don't want to allow robots, or let's use a more coherent example, black people. If a business says, I don't want to allow black people in my establishment, they should have the right for that demand, because that is their business and they're allowed to do what they want. That is their own personal sovereignty. At the same time, you have the right not to patronage that business because its owners are fucking racists. And if they want to ruin their business based on their racism, they should be allowed to do so. And I have the same feeling about demand the right to work. You have no right to work. You have a right to pursue a job, but not to receive a job. And this is constitutional liberalism. I am a constitutional liberal. And unfortunately, in this day and age, being a constitutional liberal means that you are a right-wing Nazi conservative. I believe in the firm foundings of our Constitution. I believe Thomas Jefferson and the rest of the founding fathers, yes, they had their flaws, but this country was not founded on what they did. This country was founded on their ideals. And even they admitted that right now slavery is legal, but we are putting in all the ideals so that one day society can change and get rid of slavery. That's why they have things like the amendments to the Constitution. They put the groundwork down to legalize and get rid of slavery, to legalize African Americans as citizens. So there are certain things that you just simply cannot demand. And that's why I mostly selected what I selected. Like I said, I could have selected equal rights and free speech. And then, yeah, that's it. That's it. Equal rights and anything in that first column and the three things I selected in those second columns, those are what can be selected. End of segregation cannot be selected. Right to work cannot be selected. Control of the means of production cannot be selected, and territory absolutely cannot be selected. The moment you select any of those four things, you are no longer talking about rights. And it's one of these many reasons why today I am considered a Republican and why I'm a supporter of Donald Trump and making America great again. Okay, and let's get to the next chapter. You guys got your civics lesson for the day. Let's see, where am I going? And I like that a bunch of people showed up for that civics lesson. But, you know, I like this conversation. I do like talking politics. I know it turns a lot of people away. And I'm always open to new ideas, as long as the ideas follow the basic tenets of civil rights and things like that. And constitutionalism. That's why I'm very anti-socialist. I do not like socialism because I believe it goes against everything our Constitution stands for. But I'm willing to entertain ideas based on that and different thoughts. And I'm also willing to teach, just as I am willing to learn.
I love this place. Everything is so calm.
I feel like the Android War has already started. I believe that's what that broadcast was from Marcus. That was their declaration of war.
My relationship with Lieutenant Anderson is problematic. He continues to struggle with psychological issues. I suspect it clouds his judgment regarding deviance.
Nothing matters more than your investigation. What's happening is too...
Okay, see, there's a difference, though. When conservatives use the word socialist, they're actually using it correctly. When the left uses the word fascist, they're using the term incorrectly, because socialism is fascist, while our constitutional republic is not.
Important. Don't let Anderson or anyone else get in your way.
The organization Antifa is one of the most fascist organizations in present day.
You seem...
Just because they call themselves anti-fascist doesn't make them not fascist. Yeah, but the difference is, Tristan Hopkins, we have facts on our side.
I'm just frustrated with my lack of progress. But I'm determined to accomplish my mission.
While the left has feelings.
If
and
your
facts trump
doesn't make
feelings.
Progress soon, I may have to replace you, Connor.
I know I will succeed. All I need is time.
Hey, the storm is brewing.
Something's happening. Something serious. Hurry, Connor. Time is running out.
If you look at all the movements on the left right now, Black Lives Matter, employment wage gap,
You're starting to piss me off.
police, well, that's part of Black Lives Matter. They're all lies. None of it is based on facts.
Shit, what's going on here? There was a party and nobody told me about it?
Yeah, it's all over the news, so everybody's butting their nose in. Even the FBI wants a piece of the action.
Ah, Christ, now we got the feds on our back. I knew this was gonna be a shitty day. So what do we got?
A group of 4 androids. They knew the building, and they were very well organized. I'm still trying to figure out how they got this far without being noticed.
Did you check the roof? Not yet. There's so much to look at. We have to make sure we check it out.
They attacked 2 guards in the hallway. Probably thought the androids were coming to do maintenance. They got taken down before they could react. One of the station employees managed to get away. He's in shock. Not sure when we'll be able to talk to him.
How many people were working here?
Just 2 employees and 3 androids. The deviants took the humans hostage and broadcast. Oh, Lieutenant, this is Special Agent Perkins from the FBI. Lieutenant Anderson is in charge of investigating for Detroit police.
What's that?
My name is Connor. I'm
What's
the
that?
android sent by Cyberlife.
Androids investigating androids, huh? You sure you want an android hanging around? After everything that happened? Whatever. If the FBI would take you over the investigation, you'd soon be off the case.
No, pleasure meeting you. Have a nice day.
And you watch your step. Don't fuck up my crime scene.
What a fucking prick.
I'll be nearby. If you need anything, just ask.
All right, well, let's have a look around. Let me know if you find anything.
Okay, Lieutenant.
And the government should not be mandating a business do anything for its workers.
Our hopes and our rights,
as long as it doesn't
together,
interfere with the personal sovereignty of its
future
workers.
For humans and androids. This message is
So
the
things
hope
like unemployment compensation,
you gave us life. And now the time
businesses
has
should
come
not
for
be
you to give us
required
freedom.
to pay for that. Unions should not be required either.
Will set them free.
Basic living standards? What are basic living standards? Basic living standards are different depending on where you live. And who decides what a basic living standard is?
You see something?
I identified its model and serial number.
Anything else I should know?
No. Nothing.
Human decency is not factual based. It's feelings based. That's exactly what I'm talking about. At the same time, you want to be killing babies in the womb. Some would say that's not part of human decency. So someone has to decide what decency is. Like I said, someone has to decide what human decency is. Would you rather that be the government? Or would you rather be able to decide what basic human decency is for yourself between you and your employer? Shouldn't you and your employer be negotiating how much you get paid and what benefits you get? What does the government have to do with that? The government shouldn't be involved. As long as your employer isn't doing anything that puts your life at risk. Because that violates the rights we spoke about previously. Even a business should be allowed to do whatever they want to do as long as it doesn't infringe on the rights of others. See, I'm not arguing in favor of poverty.
They didn't break in?
I'm arguing in favor of individual
cameras in the hall.
Sovereignty and responsibility.
The staff would have seen what was happening. Why did they let him in?
Maybe they didn't check the cameras.
When you start taking money out of people's paychecks to pay for the welfare of others, you make it harder for somebody to live on their own with their own individual responsibility and sovereignty.
We stored the station androids in the kitchen. There's no evidence that they were involved, but
yes,
we didn't know what else
the
to
rights
do.
of others are upheld by the government, and that is the government's job, to uphold the Constitution. And that is the president's primary job, uphold the Constitution. So, for instance, let's say there's a what's it called? A leather mill. And the leather mill is making whatever the hell it makes. It's got toxic materials. It's disposing of those toxic materials properly. That's fine. It's not hurting anybody. But now let's say that business is dumping the waste from their productions into the nearby river. That's hurting people. And that's where it becomes a crime. But to mandate that leather factory has to pay their workers certain benefits is not constitutional.
Made their way up through the whole building, past all the guards, and jumped off the roof with parachutes. Pretty fucking impressive, I'd say.
The rights and the basic human decency and the amount of money you make working that job should be between you and your employer.
How'd they manage to smuggle in a big bag like that?
They didn't. Someone brought it in for them.
Oh, that's strange. They planned a perfect operation, but got the number of parachutes wrong.
Unless one of the deviants was left behind. them. If they destroy it, we won't learn anything.
We can't save it. It's too late. We'll just get ourselves killed. Connor, you all right? Connor!
Okay.
Are you hurt?
I'm okay.
Tristan, that is basics.
Oh, you scared the shit out of me. For fuck's sake, I told you not to move! Why do you never do what I say?
I was connected to its memory. When it fired, I felt it die.
You negotiate your salary with your boss. Nobody should be mandating that your boss has to pay you any specific amount.
I saw something.
If your boss likes the work you do, you can ask for a raise, time off,
a piece of rusty metal,
a bonus, extra benefits.
Jericho.
There's no one-size-fits-all policy, even when it comes to wages. Let's say you're working in a mining town. Your boss is a miner is offering jobs. Some people need more money than others. Some people need housing. Some people don't. You can easily say, "I'll take less money, but I need housing." Tristan, they could. They absolutely could. And if I'm willing to take that job for less, that is my right to choose to take that job. If the pay they offer is too low that people choose not to take the job, then they don't have enough workers. If the amount they're offering doesn't offset the costs of doing that job or the inherent risks of that job, they won't get enough workers. If paying people low makes them have workers who are less skilled, then they'll have less efficient workers. If you want more skilled workers, then you will have to pay more people for better skill. That's a basic tenet of economics. People who work better should be paid more. I have the right to seek a different job.
Hello? I'm looking for Rose. Is she here?
What do you want with her?
I need to talk to her.
She doesn't
There
want to
is
talk.
no right
Go away.
to work. This is part of the discussion we had
Please,
before.
I really need to see her.
I'm Rose. What can I do for you?
I was told you could help us.
Help you?
Guaranteeing people's jobs and wages
It's better if we talk
is
inside.
not part of the Constitution. It's not anywhere listed in the job of the American government. And it shouldn't be. Do you know who created the minimum wage? Think about it this way. Who created the minimum wage? Tell you it was not the US government. Who created the 8-hour workday? It was not the US government.
You don't have a choice.
It was Henry Ford, a business owner and a capitalist who determined that paying his workers more led to better workers. And creating an 8-hour workday, giving people weekends off, created better workers who worked more efficiently and allowed them to work in three shifts a day. Capitalism created this good situation for workers, not the government.
Come in. What's your name?
Alice.
When the government mandates that businesses have to do specific things, that is against the Constitution.
She's running a fever.
We've spent the last few nights outside. She's exhausted.
There's a spare room upstairs. You can put her to bed and I'll bring her something to eat. Adam, will you show them upstairs?
And if you don't like the business for using cheap labor, you have the option to not buy their products. You don't like that McDonald's is only paying their workers $8.50 an hour? You have a right not to buy dinner for $1. You can go to some other restaurant and buy a $12 burger instead. You have a choice. You always have choices. And when you hand over your sovereignty to the government, they take those choices away. What does Walmart have to do with this? You not buying a $12 burger. And you have a choice not to shop at Walmart. Now, all those poor people who have low-wage jobs, they can live off of the low prices of products that they buy from Walmart. You want to take that ability away from them? If you force Walmart to double all their wages, you know what happens? All the prices of all the products in Walmart double with it. And all those people who live off those cheap products at Walmart can't live anymore. When you raise the minimum wage, cost of living goes up to match.
To get across the border.
Except now Walmart has less workers.
You need rest.
Because they can't afford to pay everybody.
We'll set off again tomorrow.
So less people have jobs, so there's even more people in poverty. Yes, you're right. Walmart uses low-wage labor in China and other countries. Probably because the cost of paying American workers is so expensive. If the cost of paying American workers wasn't so expensive, they'd hire more American workers.
Humans are...
These are basic economic principles that socialists just do not understand.
To each other.
And they refuse to understand.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know what you like, but I made you Rose's world.
Hello. No, what'd you ask? Oh, what'd you ask? Sure. Sure. Okay. Bye-bye. Alright, I just got invited out to dinner. So...
Famous spaghetti.
Maybe
Back
one
on
more
your
chapter
feet no
after
time.
this.
There's something for her fever.
Thank you.
I'll get these washed and dried.
Tristan, there is not a single country on Earth
You need to eat something.
that has
haven't had anything
benefited
since
from
we left.
socialism. Zero.
Must be
It has
okay.
never worked in the history of the world. But
be downstairs if you need
capitalism has brought more people out of poverty in the past 20 years than in all time combined.
Sleep, and tomorrow you'll be stronger than me.
Those Chinese workers who are working for 80 cents a day are coming out of poverty.
I'll stay with her a while.
Their cost of living is so low that they take those 80 cents and they are happy to have those jobs. You know who's unhappy to not have those jobs? American workers. I'm not talking about matching low wages. I'm talking about simply not demanding minimum wage. A company should be able to pay their workers how much they believe their work is worth. And think about it. They're spending 80 cents a day on Chinese workers, and then they're also paying for the freight and the travel of all that equipment and the import taxes on all the goods back into America. That means the cost of the workers, the cost of the factories, the cost of the freight, the cost of the tariffs, all that combined is still cheaper than just making it in America. If they just made it in America, they could probably pay $4 or $5 an hour to American workers, and it would be cheaper. But they don't do that because the costs are too high in America, and minimum wage stifles their ability to hire American workers. And as I said, socialism has never worked. Just look at Venezuela. Venezuela was one of the richest countries on the planet. And now you have people fighting, killing their pets to feed themselves because of socialism.
I didn't get your name.
I'm Kara.
This is my son, Adam. I'm Rose, but you know that already. Come and have a seat, Kara. So are you gonna tell me what a deviant's doing in the snow with a little girl?
Her father was beating her. When I saw what was happening, something snapped inside of me. All of a sudden, I felt like her life was more important than mine. I had to protect her.
See, China is an interesting example because China is both capitalist and socialist at the same time. What China has is something called, what is the exact term? I forgot what the term is, but they basically have regions of capitalism in China. They're specifically designated areas that do not follow the socialist model. I believe they started it sometime in like 2000, early 2000s. They had 4 capitalist regions in China. And what happened is those 4 regions in China, no, I'm not talking about state capitalism. I'm talking about those free enterprise zones. That's what they're called. Basically, because after they took back Hong Kong, they experimented with free enterprise. Anyways, they have free enterprise. They had 4 free enterprise zones in China, and what they saw is very rapidly, like within a few years, those 4 free enterprise zones in China just exploded. The quality of life in those regions expanded so high, so quickly, that eventually they expanded it to 7 free enterprise zones in China, then 11 free enterprise zones in China. And I believe right now there are 14 free enterprise zones in China. This is why capitalism has brought more people out of poverty in the past 20 years than in the history of the world, because China has been expanding their free enterprise zones. In 10 years, I wouldn't be surprised if all of China is a free enterprise zone. And the worst parts of China, where people live in the greatest poverty, is where they do not have free enterprise. Free enterprise works.
So we ran away.
I understand.
Why are you helping us? Most humans hate androids.
My people were often made to feel their lives were worthless. Some survived, but only because they found others who helped them along the way.
There is no such thing as state capitalism.
We're not the first ones to come here.
There is no such thing as crony capitalism.
And more. I don't know what's going on, but something's happening.
We've heard you help androids cross the border. Can you help us?
The only way is over the river, and it's mostly frozen in winter. It's very risky. And after that android speech on TV, everybody's on edge. It's probably safer for you to stay here until things settle down.
We can't keep hiding like this. Alice needs to feel safe and have a normal life. We have to get across that border. No matter what. Please. You've got to help us.
Tristan, it sounds like you just defined communism. You can call it what you want to call it. It's not capitalism.
What's going on?
It's Mary. She just shut down.
Like when people use the term crony capitalism, they're not explaining capitalism at all.
Once we got across the border.
Crony capitalism is a made-up definition to try to impugn capitalism.
I love her more than anything.
It's not capitalism. It's socialism or communism when they use it.
Let's let them be.
RA9 will save us. What is RA9?
Alice? What are you doing? You should be resting.
I wasn't sleepy.
The moment the state starts mandating anything on corporations or businesses or anything on the market, it is not capitalism. When the state controls the means of production, it is not capitalism.
You all right, Kara?
I don't know how much more direct I can say that.
I'm fine.
We can't hide them. Not after what those deviants did today. It's too dangerous.
When the state mandates what a
Do you know what happened if the police find them here?
business has to make, what they have to pay,
Do you understand me?
what they have to do,
Prison
who they have to
Adam.
hire,
We've already
that is
talked about
not
this.
capitalism.
Oh, no! I won't back down this time. You're gonna ruin our lives, and for what? For a bunch of machines?
They are not machines! They are alive!
I'm alive! You're alive! They're nothing!
It's not a gray area. There's no gray
I
area.
will not stand for that kind of talk.
I'm not going to prison. Because you want to help these freaks.
That is enough, Adam.
It is the socialist school system and media and these social justice warriors who have convinced you it's a gray area. It is not a gray area. If the state is involved, it's not capitalism.
Sometimes he just boils over. It's been hard since his dad passed away. But he's a fine boy. I'll go see about getting you across the border tonight, okay? You stay here. I won't be long.
China's a special case. According to who? The liberal media? Who are saying it's a special case? Hey, this is proof that socialism works. Or some proof that communism is evil. Or that capitalism is evil. Like I said, they can say whatever they want. And they intentionally obfuscate words to confuse people.
I hope Rose gets back soon.
I wouldn't say China is in the same boat as Venezuela. I'd say the free enterprise zones in China are doing fantastic for their people.
It's about Alice.
Not now, Luther.
And the socialist areas of China where people live in abject poverty is not doing well for their people.
There is widespread shock following the android attack on Detroit's Stratford Tower. The machines recorded a video message and broadcast what can only be described as demands on the city's public screens. It's still unclear whether these attacks can be explained by malfunctions or if some organization is behind them. So far, CyberLife has refused to comment, but we can expect more information in the following hour.
The police. It's the police. What are we gonna do? They know we're here. We have to open the door. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew it.
Hurry, Luther. Take Alice and hide upstairs.
Come on, Alice.
Two pieces of evidence left. What's left? Wait, that's evidence? What else is evidence? Am I evidence?
If they see you panicking, it's over. Do you want to get us into trouble? Do you want to get your mother into trouble? And keep calm and just do what I say.
Good evening,
I missed
ma'am.
one piece of
Sorry
evidence.
to disturb you. We've had reports of androids in the area. With all this deviant
You
business
seem
going
to
on,
have
we
this
can't-
belief that capitalism
Do you
is
mind
evil.
if I ask you a few questions? May I come in?
Of course.
Capitalism is not evil.
Evening, young
Capitalism
man.
is not good.
Good evening.
Capitalism is a tool. It is not inherently good or evil. Socialism, on the other hand, is evil.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
I'd love one. Have you noticed anything unusual recently? Any unexpected visitors?
No. No, nothing in particular.
Is anyone else in the house?
No. No, just us.
Do you have any androids here?
We used to for helping in the garden, but we got rid of it.
The Choltis at the fireplace? What is Choltis?
What's with the blue blood? I thought you didn't have any androids.
We used to have one. I should really clean out that closet.
I mean, it still says there's one piece of evidence left.
Thanks.
I don't know what this last piece of evidence is.
I thought there was no one else in the house.
I forgot there's my daughter upstairs.
No, there's no waypoint. I just gotta find it. And I don't see anything.
What's your name, son?
Adam. My name is Adam.
Is everything all right, Adam?
The androids,
He's just shaken up about this deviant business.
Do you know anything about deviants? Have you seen any?
No. No. I haven't seen anything.
I better go. Thanks for the coffee. Have a nice evening. Is somebody else in the house?
It's nothing, the washing machine. It's an old model, it makes a terrible racket.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Adam.
He's gone.
It's okay, Alice. We'll be safe now.
It's Rose.
Get yourselves ready. We leave tonight.
Alright, that's the end of that chapter. That was... Holy shit, there's a lot of black boxes. Or mystery boxes in this chapter. The evil white cop is gone. All right.
We've been playing together for a while now. I was wondering, are we friends?
Sure, why not?
I agree. There's no reason a human and a machine can't be friends, right? I mean, I'm glad you said yes.
Tristan, we just went to a Club Eden. You don't remember that? Well, it was right when I started. We went to a robo brothel. There are a lot of character models in this game. Even a character model for the dog. Carlos Ortiz's model is just a corpse. I may stream later tonight. But I am done for now, heading out to dinner soon. Let's see what it's like on trophies in this game. 25%. Almost done with Dragon Ball. Only one trophy left in Dragon Ball. Peace out, guys.